Hi, and welcome to your week 6 full body workout. Today's workout is a plyometric workout. Plyometrics is a type of exercise training that involves short, intense bursts of activity that targets the fast twitch muscle fibers. We have 3 circuits for you today: 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Each circuit will be repeated 2 times. There's a lot of jumping in this workout. However, I will provide modifications to those exercises. You have the option to do the entire workout with the modifications. All right, I want you to take it to where you need it today. You have the option not to use dumbbells today. Most of the exercises use your body weight. However, if you want to level up or give a little bit of challenge, I would suggest low weights. I would suggest 5 pounds or less. Without further ado, let's get into our workout. Grab your mat, towel, water, and let's get to work. Let's get our workout started, starting off with some squat jumps. Starting in squat position, you're going to roll on the balls of your toes as you come up for a jump, using your arms to help with that momentum. Modify by rolling onto the balls of your toes into a calf raise. Coming up next are jump lunges. Keeping your core engaged, chest up. You're going to hop up and jump back into a lunge, and then hop together and jump lunge on the opposite leg. Modification, just step it back. Next up is hop to high knees. Jump to one side of your mat and the opposite leg comes up for a high knee to the chest. Then step over and repeat. You can step this movement out to modify. Take a big hop over, keep your core engaged, chest up, and breathe. We're going to perform the same movement with the opposite leg. Hop, jump, and tuck the knee to the chest. Modification, just step and give me a knee to the chest. Next up is a plank tuck jump. Starting in a plank position, you're going to hop in to a bear crawl position and then jump right back out. Keep your arms underneath your shoulders, core engaged, hop in and hop out. Modification, you can step the legs in one at a time and return it to a straight leg position. We have round 2 coming up. Just remember the tips. Keep your core engaged. You have the option to modify all of the movements. If you want to challenge yourself, add a weight with that modification, or you can modify some and you can go full out and jump for others. This is your workout. Make it your own. We're done with circuit 1. We're now going to circuit number 2. First exercise up. We have overhead lateral bound using a dumbbell. Hop to one side while taking your arms overhead. You can jump this movement out, or you can step it out without weight. From one side of your mat to the other, keep your core engaged, chest up, and breathe. Next up is a plyo glute bridge. Start in a glute bridge position. Bring your hips off the floor, then hop from one leg to the next while kicking your legs up. Modification, come in the glute bridge and just step the legs out instead of jumping. Try and keep your hips off the floor the best you can. Pull the core in, hold the arms out to the side. Next up is a plyo push-up. Start in a modified push-up position. As you go into that push-up, you get to the top and you push up off your fingertips. Keep your core engaged, chest to the floor. Modification, you have a modified plank to alternating arm reach. Next up is plank jacks to cross-body climbers. Hop in. Starting in a high plank position, you are going to hop your feet in, then cross-body climbers, opposite knee to opposite elbow. Keep your core engaged. Squeeze your glutes. Take your time. Instead of jumping, you can step it out to modify. Next up is press jacks. One dumbbell is needed. You can modify by stepping this movement out with or without dumbbell. We've completed round 1. Let's get ready for round number 2. Again, remembering all your tips for form for each of the movement. Take your time. You can level up with a dumbbell if you're modifying. Challenge yourselves and keep the intensity. Great job with circuit number 2. Let's get ready for circuit number 3, our final circuit. Coming up is a hop forward, jack back. Take a big step or hop forward, and then jumping jacks on the way back. For modification, you're just going to give a big step forward and just rumble back. Next movement is high knees. Jumping up, keeping your knees going to the chest as high as you can. Core engaged, chest up. Modification, you're just going to step the movement up. Again, add a weight for intensity if you are modifying. Next up are lateral lunges. Taking it from one side of your mat to the opposite, hopping over and driving the knee to the chest. Modification, you can step it out with one weight, pressing it out. Next up are butt kickers. Nice and tall as you drive your heels to your booty. Modification, just step it out instead of jumping it out. Coming up next are touchdowns. Starting in a squat position, touching the floor, alternating your arms. Hop in, stand tall, hop out into a squat. Keep your core engaged. Breathe, modification, just step it out. Round 1 is done. On to round number 2. Remembering your form, remembering to breathe. You are finishing up the final circuit, so make it your best round. Awesome job. You're done with your circuits. Take a nice deep breath. Grab a sip of water. You did an awesome job. Let's bring that heart rate back down with our cool down. Getting onto the floor, getting into a child's pose position. Your toes are together, your knees apart. Sitting as far to your heel as possible, walking your fingertips out in front of you, opening the chest, opening the shoulders, opening the hip flexors. Take some nice deep breaths. Getting in a tabletop position. Arms underneath the shoulders for some cat-cows. Your knees are under your hips, toes on the floor as you arch it up, sinking your chest in, stomach in, then releasing it, hyperextending the back, stomach to the floor. Coming up for a hip flexor stretch, bringing one foot forward, keeping one foot back, knees on the floor, turning, reaching up to the ceiling, and switching legs, same thing. Get as deep into that stretch as possible before reaching up. Coming down to the floor for some low back rotation. Make sure your chest is nice and tall. As you switch sides, pulling your belly button to the spine as you rotate. Bring your legs out front. Take a nice deep breath. Reach for your toes, your ankles, your shins. Hold the stretch. And we are done.